In this time of the pandemic, where COVID-19 has crippled the world economies, where our government has ordered nationwide shutdown, where hospitals are overwhelmed.
Shortly after, the unthinkable happened.
I was literally stunned and frozen.
And their religious leaders are proven to be frauds. Where do you go to get all your questions answered and to hear what God has to say about this matter? You can only find the answers in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under Commanding General Hachaanakah. We give you scriptural breakdowns of world events and the up and coming world war. We will show you in the Bible where the children of Israel, who are the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans today, would suffer slavery in Jamaica, Caribbean, North, Central, and South America, and other parts of the world. We will show you in the Bible where God said He would send plagues upon the earth before He frees people from this captivity.
The World Health Organization has declared coronavirus a global pandemic.
We will give you the true teaching of the Bible, precept upon precept. To learn more, subscribe today and call the number in the description for ISUPK Jamaica. Shalom. Shalom, Israel. This is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, and is run today by Commanding General Hachaanakah, the man with the rank and the authority to be the leader of the nation of the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans at this time. I want to say Yahweh Basham Yahweh Barakatam to the brothers, Yahweh Shama Ailatan Basham Yahweh to the sisters. Welcome to our Sunday afternoon scripture breakdown. And we are still in Hachaanakah. Hachaanakah closed this evening at sundown. So we are still talking about Hachaanakah. Now, the part we're looking at Hachaanakah now is we trusting to our enemies and what it did. You know, the Most High forbid us to trust our oppressor. As a matter of fact, even if they're not oppressing you directly, the Bible forbids you to trust heathens. If they don't oppress you, they end up oppressing your children. Can you believe that, man? Damn. All right. Now, in the time of the Maccabees, we were under the Grecians. The Grecians were pounding us left, right, and center. The brothers fought hundreds of battles. Marky. Sorry, let's turn it on the side. You're losing it. Maybe you don't want this. I have the Apocrypha now.
Yeah, I want to.
All right. We fought many on that one. Many battles. You want behind it. And the Most High won many battles for us. But in order to get rid of one enemy, we sought refuge under another one, which, you know, we were supposed to find refuge under the Most High God of Israel and not under man. All right, let's jump right into the scriptures. We're doing a lot of reading today. I want to cover all of them, all scriptures. All right, First Maccabees. First Maccabees 8, 1 to 2.
This is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 8, verse 1. Now Judas had heard of the Romans, that they were mighty and valiant men, and such as would lovingly accept all that join themselves unto them, and make a league of amity with all that came unto them.
All right, so this was chapter what was it? 9? 8. This was Judas Maccabeus. Well, surname Maccabeus. They use a surname in the scriptures, but we normally would have a nickname.
Yeah.
Judas heard of then Judas started to hear, because the Romans was giving us hell, man. Then he heard of the Romans. I heard that they were good people, basically. You see, when we say color don't matter, this is an example here now of we believing that color don't matter. Yeah, because one set of white people giving us problem, and we run to another set of white people for refuge. All right. Now Judas, he heard of the Romans and said, "Oh, they were mighty, valiant men." All right. If you are a rude boy normally have some respect for rude boys, you know. Valiant men have respect for valiant men. Warriors respect warriors. That's why you have within the warriors realm, you have what you call a warrior's death or a soldier's death, which is quick and painless. So a warrior seek to give another warrior when he overthrow him and is going to kill him, give him a warrior's death. Swift and painless. So here now Judas, who was a valiant man, having some regards to the Romans, because he heard that they were mighty and they were valiant men, and they are lovingly acceptable of all that join themselves to them. All right, verse 2.
Verse 2. And that they were men of great valor.
All right, great valor mean that they were fighting men, and they won great battles. All right, continue.
It was told him also of their wars and noble acts.
Right. So that is what got that was what got to Maccabeus' head now. That these men were great men. And that these men, all right, let's look for the word valor. Hold on. All right, what does the word valor mean? Great courage in the face of danger, especially in battle. So, in other words, them man, I don't know, coward. These were no cowards at the time. These men stand in the face of danger and fight. Warrior always respect that. Looking at see the charger for this. Great men respect greatness. So that was what Judas Maccabeus was trying to align himself with and align and align Jerusalem with.
Okay.
Let's see how it goes, because one thing we know now, until this day, we're having problem with the Romans.
Right.
To the point now where the Romans are telling you that man when you read about in the Bible, Christ, and it we, and it we.
Okay.
That was us. All right, so continue reading.
Another one can. Which they had done among the Galatians, and had Slakia, and how they had conquered them and brought them under tribute.
Right, we have a book in the Bible in Galatians, don't?
Okay.
They were a nation.
Okay.
And this was the time of the Grecians, So Galatia was a province under the Greeks.
Okay.
So the Romans had conquered the Galatians. Just like how Jamaica is a province under England. A next nation come and conquer Jamaica or any one of the English territories, right? So this was Galatian. That's why I tell you, in the New Testament, those books were actually nations under the Grecians, whom the Romans conquered. So Galatian conquered, and how they had conquered them and make them start pay tribute. Now, this was one of the isles which our people, the Jews, blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, back then they were called Israelites, had end up in. That is why we end up with a book in the Bible named Galatians. So the Galatian book in the Bible was not a writing to the descendants of Esau. It was a writing to the nation of the Jews who were in Galatia, who was brought there at the time of this same Maccabees time, when we were fighting many battles with them. We lost battles with them, and our people went into slavery. Then gone on ship, you don't see them again. They end up in Galatia, they end up in Philippi, they end up in Rome, they end up any one of them New Testament name book, which is a place, Thessalonica. You think you name them, they were there. All right, so this is now Maccabeus searching for an ally. All right, drop down to 11.
Another one can. Verse 11. It was told him, besides, how they destroyed and brought under their dominion all other kingdoms and isles that at any time resisted them.
Right, so anybody resist them, then conquer. That is the reputation. What Judas was reading about, you remember you read about Christ having a name which only him know.
Right.
What we are reading about now is the reputation of the Romans.
Right.
Why is it only Christ know the reputation? Me and you can only tell you something that is in the scripture about Christ.
Right.
But it's only Christ really know what him coming to do. Right? So that reputation, that name that Christ will be coming now, is talking about Christ's reputation. So what we're reading now is the reputation of the Romans, which attracted Judas Maccabeus. Continue. He was a high priest in Jerusalem.
Verse 12. But with their friends and such as relied upon them, they keep amity, and that they had conquered kingdoms both far and nigh, in so much as all that heard of their name were afraid of them.
Right, that is reputation. Right? Just hearing of them makes you afraid.
Right.
Now, we don't need to be afraid of any nation once we are keeping our law, statutes, and commandments.
Right.
All right, continue.
Verse 13. All that whom they would help to a kingdom, those reign and whom again they displaced. Finally, that they were greatly exalted.
Right. So who they would help to a kingdom, those persons reign. But whom again they displace. Mean that they do what? Take you out. Right. Finally, that they were greatly exalted. Meaning that they had what? They had a great name. Great name. And people speak of them with fear.
Kind of like America.
Kind of like America. Right. Verse 14.
Another one can, verse 14. Yet for all this, none of them wore a crown or was clothed in purple to be magnified thereby.
So this was what also attracted him. He said, with all this greatness, they not even have a king and clothe themselves in purple and get pompous and thing. He said, nah man, these must be good men, man. Continue.
Another one can, verse 15. Moreover, how they had made for themselves a senate house, wherein 320 men sat in council daily, consulting always for the people, to the end they might be well ordered.
All right. So I hear about the Senate, which ruled Rome. And this was a landmark in those days. Because what you had in those days, a king who get pompous, put crown on him head and wear purple and I am king, I am high and mighty. I said, these men have such great name and how they rule by themselves. They use a house, they have a 300 of them actually rule the nation, not one, not just one. And there is one who they chose because you choose the Senate of a leader, but it is chosen by the Senate, which it's annually. Continue, read on.
Another one can, verse 16. And that they committed their government to one man every year, who ruled over all their country, and that all were obedient to that one, and that there was neither envy nor emulation among them.
What Judas Maccabeo should be reading is, which God them serve? We as Israelites, have to be careful. That's the first thing we need. Are we serving the same gods as these people? As great and mighty as they look, are we serving the same God? We don't know. But he could have checked that out. Mm-hmm.
And they are committed, and that they committed their government to one man every year.
Right. That is like your prime minister.
So they vote.
Them voting a one man.
Every year.
That's the vote. That's where voting come from. That's the first record of choosing a leader by the people. Politics. Right. That's the first record of it. And there it is in the Bible. So you see, America could have read this and set up their Senate. Plus do some research on ancient Rome. Continue.
Verse 17. In consideration of these things, Judas chose Eupolemus, the son of John, the son of Achas, and Jason, the son of Eleazar, and sent them to Rome to make a league of amity and confederacy with them.
So Judas now sent envoys, who we would call diplomats, who we would also call ambassadors, to Rome to join with them before they attack him, or to join with them to get one enemy off his back. We'll see why we'll see why there is reason for doing it. But there's no record here of him inquiring as to what God they serve. And that is the pitfall which we as Israelites have to look out for. You're aligning yourself with a person of another nation, which God him serve. Whatever or whoever that he sees as God is going to be. Hold on, take a look. No? Is going to be his ultimate. The board farm. The farm. Stand up. Yeah. Right. So he went searching out as to who he was drawn to the governance of the Romans rather than what God they serve. And we as Israelites have to be very careful. When we join ourselves to another nation, we have to check that. America tell about them doing that. What them say they don't. They are not aligned to any religion.
America?
Yeah.
To any terrorist organization?
No, man. When it comes to religion, they say they are a non-religious country. Right. But at the same time, within America, you find all the ancient gods. Give it a Statue of Liberty, who represent Esther. No, man. Ishtar. Who represent Ishtar. Right there in the White House now, I watched a speech what the president was making the other day. You see the Christmas decorations behind him. When Easter time, they have egg hunt at the White House. Right? When the Hindu have their Diwali festival, they do it at the White House too. Yet you're going to say you are a non-religious. All the religions that oppressed us back before slavery is in America. Witchcraft, paganism, and all idolatrous religions are right there. It was the same thing in Rome. When the Grecians set up the temple of, what was the name of the temple again? Jupiter Olympus. Yeah. Jupiter Olympus. Yeah. So Jupiter was their, like what we say, Yahweh, the God of the Hebrew, created the world. They would have said Jupiter created the world. He might the top God, which the Romans, did the Romans call? Yeah, the Romans call him Jupiter too. Yeah. So the Romans and the Romans give you Christ. No, Christ. That's a Christ. How the story with Hercules go again? He was the son of.
He's the son of Zeus.
Zeus. God. So Zeus was the top god. God. So they give you. So Jupiter would be like Zeus then. So they give you Christ now. They give you Jesus, who actually would have to be like Jesus, son of Zeus. That is the white Christ that they give you after they change our original Yahweh Shai to Jesus. So this was the pitfall now that we were heading to under Maccabeus, unknowingly at the time. What verse we are now?
We are verse
16.
Verse
17.
Verse 18. Sir.
Oh, where they send Eleazar and sorry, Jason and Eupolemus to them, to the Romans. All right, verse 18.
Verse 18. And to entreat them that they would take the yoke from them, for they saw that the kingdom of the Grecians did oppress Israel with servitude.
Right. So we now going to the Russians to take the yoke of the Grecians on off our backs. Continue.
Verse 19. They went therefore to Rome, which was a very great journey, and came into the Senate, where they spake and said.
All right, so then Rome was far from Jerusalem. Good work, because then you couldn't fly. So it was a good way out. Continue.
Verse 20. Judas Maccabeus with his brethren and the people of the Jews have sent us and
same way.
Same concept.
Yeah, so what they are doing now is reading the message that they brought as envoy, as envoys to Rome. Continue.
Have sent us unto you to make a confederacy and peace with you, and that we might be registered, and that we might be registered, your confederate and friends.
Right. So he sent us that we the Jews might become your confederates and your friends. 21.
Verse 21. So that matter pleased the Romans well.
Romans, okay. Because everybody knew that the Jews were a mighty set of people. So Rome was say, okay, that's nice. Good to have a friend that far. Closer to Egypt too. 21, 22.
Verse 22. And this is the copy of the epistle which the Senate wrote back again in tablets, in tables of brass, and sent to Jerusalem, that there they might have by them a memorial of peace and confederacy.
Right. All right. Let us look up confederacy. Confederacy is
Confederacy, a league or alliance, especially of confederate states.
all right. So it means that we have to now look for a confederate. A member of a league of persons, parties, or states. Right. So in other words, we want them to become, or today, what's the word they use? England is what to America? Ally. So the word now is not confederate. The word now today is allies. But it's the same thing we are reading about in the Bible. Because they use the word league now for the United Nations. United Nations was originally the League of Nations until it became United Nations, which is we should be. It's the people of the Most High God should be running those organizations. Those are the things Christ coming to take away. Well, you all wanted to be a league, so you are still a league, but you're going to take orders from me. All right. Continue.
Verse 23. Good success be to the Romans unto the people of the Jews by sea and by land forever. The sword also, an enemy, be far from them.
All right. So I want to know this is what they send, what they are writing back to us. Continue.
Canada one can. Verse 24. If there come first any war upon the Romans or any of their confederates throughout all their dominion. Verse 25. The people of the Jews shall help them, as the time shall be appointed with all their heart.
Right. So this is now, you joining that confederate. So any one of the Roman confederate in problem, you might be close to them, and then war come upon them. It's now your duty to help that nation with all your heart. Continue.
Verse 26. Neither shall they give anything unto them that make war upon them, or aid them with victuals, weapons, money, or ships, or it has seemed good unto the Romans, but they shall keep their covenant without taking anything therefore.
All right. So you can help any confederate and the next different nation outside of the confederate come upon that member of the confederate. You, the Jews, can help the confederate's enemy. But suppose that enemy was your friend. You can't help them. Right. You probably gonna have to Japan was the first one to say in a war say we remain neutral. So you'd have to stay neutral. Or if you're going to take side, you would have to take the Confederate side. So you are now joining yourself to a certain nation which the Most High don't want you to do. Because he tell you to separate from Edens. All right. But probably why they look at it, they would have looked at the law, where the law say those that are in the borders, within the borders of the land that the Most High gave us, we are not to make any league with them. But really and truly, we are not to make any league with any Eden like this. We weren't supposed to do that. And we're going to say, well, I mean, here we are today. So all we need to do is to just look back at yesterday and we see why. I'll look at this morning. The oppressions that you are in now. Let's look at the oppressions that you are in now. And then say, you see, mistake we make from way back when, we never join them people there. So this was why Daniel now talk about the statue, the big statue in Daniel time, come down to the Romans and talk about the feet, which is like oil and like clay. We and them, we trying to join ourselves to them. Here it is the beginning now, of the island clay, where we now making confederate with them, which didn't work out really. Didn't work out. What verse right now?
Verse 27.
Continue.
Verse 27. In the same manner also, if war come first unto the nation of the Jews, the Romans shall help them with all their heart, according as the time shall be appointed them.
Just remember what the God had said. White man speak with forked tongue. Pale face, can't trust him. Pale face speak with forked tongue. Well, here they are saying, if war come to you, then we the Romans supposed to come and help you. That was how they first put a battalion in Jerusalem, because we keep getting hits after hits after hits from the Grecians. And the Grecians was also a confederate of Rome, because the Rome put them under tribute. But somehow they just couldn't stop the attack because Rome was miles away. Continue.
Another one gone. Verse 28. Neither shall victuals be given to them that take part against them, our weapons, our money, our ships, as it has seemed good to the Romans, but they shall keep their covenants, and that without deceit.
Right. White man speak with forked tongue. Because when you read through Maccabees, you see where the Grecians also wrote to the Romans and said, send us things, make we go attack Jerusalem. Well, it was after Maccabee. But what this is like, this treaty basically just good until whose name is in it? Judas. Judas Maccabeus. It's only good until Judas is alive. But Judas died in battle. The Most High killed him. Because you should not have gone and joined yourself to the heathen. Who we supposed to look to for our salvation? The Most High God of Israel. Continue.
Verse 29. According to these articles, did the Romans make a covenant with the people of the Jews.
Right. So we went and made covenant with them. Read on to 32.
Another one can. Verse 30. Albeit, if hereafter the one party or the other shall think it meet to add or diminish anything, they may do it at their pleasure, and whatsoever they shall add or take away shall be ratified.
All right. So this now you call in a contract you call this no exit clause.
Okay.
Where there's every contract should have a clause where what if I don't want to continue under this after a while? How do I exit? No, there's one contract that doesn't have an exit clause. That is our covenant. And that is good because the Most High, because it doesn't have an exit clause, we can't leave the Most High. And because we can't leave the Most High, it is good for us that the Most High cannot leave us. Right? Because that's the only thing that's going to save us in the last days here. Right? Because really and truly, the Maccabeus was supposed to look and see that who freed him from, who raised him and gave him the freedom to build back the temple. Was it the Grecians? Was it another nation? It was the Most High God. So why are you going to look to another nation for continued support? Continue worshiping God and continue looking to Him. But, you think of you in a community which keep getting attacked from another community. Year after year, it's just wars. And then you hear about another community where the man, they're a bad man, you start bring them in your place now and thing. It's a similar thing to that. This be. You understand? Eh? Yeah, you go on a real life. Yeah. What he is trying here is what you hear in the world, there's safety in numbers. But it doesn't work that way in the Most High's book. No safety in numbers. There's safety under the Most High God for us. Yeah. Continue.
Verse 31. And as touching the evils that Demetrius doeth to the Jews, we have written unto him, saying, Wherefore thou made thy yoke heavy upon our friends and confederates the Jews.
Right. White man speak with forked tongue. So them say now them write to that man Demetrius and say, well, you take that yoke off them. They are now our friends. Release them. Continue.
Verse 32. If therefore they complain any more against thee, we will do them justice and fight with thee by sea and by land.
So if you don't take the yoke off of them, we're going to war you.
Yeah.
White man speak with forked tongue. They did not came to our help. All right. Now, we have heard in the scripture several times, separate yourself from the Eden and so on. Go to first Esdras 9 and 9. The Moses has been telling us from donkey days, from the time of Moses. What was it? What was it again?
First Esdras 9 and verse 9.
First Esdras. Let me find it. All right, read on.
This is the book of First Esdras, chapter 9, verse 9. And do his will, and separate yourselves from the heathen of the land, and from the strange women.
Right. We must separate ourselves from heathen. People who are not Jewish, who are not Jews, I should say. Right? Because they have never had your interests at heart. Never. There is, read the Bible from Genesis, the Apocrypha, from Genesis, the Old Testament, beginning from Genesis, the Apocrypha, where Apocrypha beginning again, Esdras, First Esdras, and read the New Testament, beginning at Matthew, go all the way down to Revelation. So read the Bible from Genesis to Revelation. There is not one instance in there where we have ever been aided by the seed of Esau. This is probably the closest we came. Why? Because Esau speak with forked tongue. Mean what? They are deceiving.
Forked tongue or forked tongue?
Forked tongue.
Okay.
Or the snake tongue stay.
Yeah,
like it's split. Yeah. Now let's go now to 2 Corinthians 6:15 to 18. I like draw to the New Testament, because Christians love to say, we're New Testament Christians, not knowing that everything in the Old Testament is in the New Testament. The New Testament explains the Old. All right. 15 to 18. 2 Corinthians.
Chapter 6, verse 15. Chapter 6.
Yeah.
Another one. This is the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 6, verse 15. And what concord as Christ with Belial?
Belial.
Yeah.
Belial, remember we read about Belial already? Yeah, the son of evil. Right.
Another one. Or what part of he that believeth with an infidel?
Mm-hmm. So you see where the Muslim get infidel from from us.
Right.
Infidels. What does infidel mean? Let's look up infidel.
Infidel, a person who has no religion or whose religion is not that of the majority. Exactly.
So in this case, an infidel would be what?
Somebody who don't believe in the truth, you know what I mean?
Because the majority here, when this was written, would have been Jew. Right. So the infidel would be anybody who is not a Jew. Right. Read on.
Adhering to a religion other than that of the majority.
All right. Go back to Corinthians now. So verse 15 says, and what concord at Christ with Belial, that is the son of evil, or what part at he that believeth with an infidel? So in other words, you who is a Jew, who is a believing Jew, believing in Christ, what part have you with someone who is an infidel, who is not a Jew? You don't have no part with them. So this, you see, here now Christ come. Judas, they didn't get the thing they right, you know. They got the Sabbath day thing right. But this was the other part now that you fell. They stopped the two. What part have he who believeth with an infidel? You don't have no part with him. Read on.
Verse 16. And what agreement has the temple of God with idols?
And he did not check what God they serve. And you were a priest, a high priest, ruling from Jerusalem, who have the temple of God. What part you have with the idols and idolatrous nations? Read on.
For ye are the temple of the living God.
Right. Your body is the temple of the living God. So what part you have with somebody who is not of the living God? That's not to say you can't talk to people, you can't friend them, you know. But you can't make leagues like this where you're buying yourself to them. That's what it is talking about. Of course, you can have them as a friend, but and you see them drop in a ditch, you can't take them up. But it's not saying that you should not talk to them. It's saying you can't make league with them. You can't make not be their confederate because when their calamity come, as it will come, you're going to have to go and help them. Which the calamity that is coming to them is just their punishment for being idolatrous. So why you who is not idolatrous should go and share in that part of the idolatrous person? That's it. Continue.
For ye are the temple of the living God. As God has said, I will dwell in them and walk in them, and I will be their God, and they shall be my people.
And this is speaking of who? Here it is right here in the New Testament. This is not talking about Christians. This is talking about the Jew. Because where was it said that where God said he will walk with them and he will be their God and they shall be my people? That was said in the Old Testament to the Israelites. And here it is being repeated in the New Testament. You can go and you can find it in Jeremiah, you can find it in Isaiah, I think it is in Ezekiel too. It's in the laws. Continue.
Verse 17. Wherefore, come out from among them, and be ye separate, saith the Lord, and touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you.
So it means that if you don't come out from among them and you are touching unclean thing, what is that saying?
That's saying that, you know what I mean, the Most High won't be your God.
He won't be receiving you.
God.
So if you are joined to them and you are touching unclean thing, he will not receive you. This is New Testament. So don't come and tell me about this law was Old Testament. This is law from the Old Testament. And because Christians don't read the Old Testament, they don't know. They think it first came about at the time of the New Testament. This was from the Old Testament. Touch no unclean thing. and I will receive you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
18.
Can everyone count? Verse 18. And will be a father unto you, and ye shall be my son and my daughters, saith the Lord Almighty.
You want a better league than this?
Yeah.
And this is not new. It's in the New Testament, repeated, sure that it still stands.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Judah shouldn't have gone the route that he took.
Yeah.
Just decide to I'm going to pay the Romans no more money and look to God.
Yeah.
You have done it. He did it before. Say, listen, we're going to make a stand. It's best if we just die rather than die making a stand than live under these Edens. Right. Give me now First Maccabees 9. Want to go 1 to 21.
And everyone can. And everyone can. This is the book of First Maccabees chapter 9, verse 1. Furthermore, when Demetrius heard the Nicanor and his host were slain in battle, he sent Bacchides and Alcimus into the land of Judah the second time, and with them the chief strength of his host.
All right. So who is it who did it? Demetrius, the Grecian.
Yeah.
All right. Continue.
Verse 2. Who went forth by the way that leadeth to Galgala, and pitched their tents before Masala, which is in Arbela. And after they had won it, they slew much people.
So after they have won Arbela, these Grecians who had nothing else to do but to just kill people.
Yeah.
Because that's Esau. If it's just a natural born killer.
Yeah.
Look at what happened in America recently with the school shooting. I mean, school closed for so long. Goodness gracious, man, they're just going back to school.
Yeah.
This is the normal that they want to go back to, you know. School shooting. And but you know that is the first, let's say they know something like this. They do the right thing, arrest the parents, send them in prison.
Right.
Now that didn't make any difference. By next week you have another school shooting. Right. You probably Christmas break soon come up. you can almost bet your bottom dollar you're gonna get another school shooting before they go off on that holiday. Right? Yeah. Because that's them. They are natural killers. Right? In the same way it comes to us naturally to be loving to each other, you know. We learn hatred from them, you know, from being servants to them, from being their slaves. That's how we learn hatred. And when they were directly in charge and dropping the whip, and we could see that they are the ones dropping the whip, we had love for each other. But now they are behind the scenes dropping the whip. We don't see them. Who we see? The wicked man of Israel who want to join themselves with them and now become your that's not the word, taskmaster, has become your taskmaster. They are the ones now who we see. And that's why we say, oh, black man can't rule over we, you know. I hear people say, black man can't rule over them. But a white man rule over them. Black man wicked. But he's carrying out the work that the white man will be doing. So the white man know that, your person knows that rather than hate me, you go and you hate him. Because white man speak with pale face speak with forked tongue. Continue.
Verse 3. Also the first month of the 150 and second year, they encamped before Jerusalem
Mm-hmm.
Another one can, verse 4. From whence they removed and went to Berea with 20,000 footmen and 2,000 horsemen. Verse 5. Now Judas had pitched his tent at Eleazar, and 3,000 chosen men with him. Verse 6. Who seeing the multitude of the other army to be so great were sore afraid, whereupon many conveyed themselves out of the host, and so much as abode of them no more than 800 men.
Mm-hmm.
Another one can, verse 7. When Judas therefore saw that his host slipped away, and that the battle pressed upon him, he was sore troubled in mind, and much distressed, for that he had no time to gather them together.
All right. Go on.
Another one can, verse 8. Nevertheless, unto them that remain, he said, let us arise and go up against our enemies, if peradventure we may be able to fight with them.
Mm-hmm. I said, all right, you know what? Oh, go up with the enemies, you know, because some run gone. Verse 9.
Another one can, verse 9. But they dehearted him, saying, we shall never be able.
So they were trying to discourage him.
Yeah.
Why we're not going to be able to do that, you know. Continue, let us.
Another one can. Let us now rather save our lives, and hereafter we will return with our brethren and fight against them, for we are but few.
So in other words, they were saying, you know, let us retreat now and gather ourselves and come back to them, which a sensible warrior knows when to retreat too. Yeah. A sensible warrior knows, all right, retreat now, come back later. It's not that you're a coward, but if you see the battle is stronger than you, yeah. But let's see what he's going to do, because he has done something, he has done things like this before. But God was with him. Continue.
Verse 10. Then Judas said, God forbid that I should do this thing and flee away from them. If our time be come, let us die manfully for our brethren, and let us not stain our honor.
No cowards.
Right, right.
I said, man, we run from them and we don't know honor. If it is our time, this not come, let us go and face it and die manfully. Now that's a warrior talk again. Continue.
Verse 11. With that, the host of Hachaanakah removed out of their tents and stood over against them, their horsemen being divided into two troops, and their slingers and archers going before the host, and they that marched in the forward were all mighty men.
All right, so mighty men were leading this battle coming up against Judas and the few. Go on.
Verse 12. As for Hachaanakah, he was in the right wing. So the host drew near, and the two part, and sounded their trumpet.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 13. They also of Judas' side, even they sounded their trumpets also, so that the earth shook at the noise of the armies, and the battle continued from morning till night.
So they had a real good fight.
Yeah.
You know, the noise that they make, you know, that is you what you know, prepping yourself to go into fight, and then you could die. I mean, so you know, you charge up yourself, going in, blow a trumpet and thing, going into fight. And they fight all day, morning till night. Continue.
Another one can, verse 14. Now when Judas perceived that Bacchides and the strength of his army were on the right side, he took with him all the hardy men.
All the what?
All the hardy men.
All right. So what does hardy mean now?
Another one can. Another one can. Capable of enduring difficult conditions, robust.
Right.
Yeah.
So he took the men who he know that is capable to go into this fight.
Yeah.
Right. Maybe require some man who can jump up and shoot arrow, and give some matrix style, dodging arrow while fighting. So he took with him men who were capable for that battle, specific battle. Continue.
Another one can. Verse 15. Who discomfited the right wing and pursued them unto the Mount Azotus.
16.
Another one can. Verse 16. But when they of the left wing saw that they of the right wing were discomfited, they followed upon Judas and those that were with him hard at the heels from behind.
Right. So then start to chase Judas now.
Okay.
17.
Another one can. Verse 17. Whereupon there was a sore battle, in so much as many were slain on both parts.
So both sides suffered heavy casualties.
Yeah.
Right.
Another
But
one, yeah.
you remember what Judas did before this?
Right.
Went and make a confederate before.
Right.
Sorry, go and make the Romans, who was an heathen nation,
Yeah.
who worship idols, who acclaim the formation of the earth and its animal to some false god.
Yeah.
Those are the ones who he went and make a confederate with.
Another one can.
Continue.
Another one can. Verse 18. Judas also was killed, and the remnant fled.
So Judas now paid the price
Right.
for going being confederate, making the Jews being confederate with Esau.
Right.
Who killed him? Same Esau generation.
Right.
19.
Another one can. Verse 19. Then Jonathan and Simon took Judas their brother and buried him in the sepulchre of his father in muddy
Of his fathers means
fathers. Yeah.
today we call it what?
Foreparents.
Family plot.
Family plot. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
So he was buried in the family plot.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the sepulchre of his fathers.
Yeah.
So the place that they buried your fathers, your family, your lineage, that's where they went and buried. Continue.
Another one can. Verse 20. Moreover, they bewailed him, and all Israel made great lamentation for him, and mourned many days, saying, verse 21, how is the valiant man fallen that delivered Israel?
Because at that time it was not explained. You see, where it come and explain, way down in the New Testament.
Okay.
What does the temple of God, what part does the temple of God have with idols? Nothing. Don't be confederate with them. All right, now go to same First Maccabees on to 12,
Another one can.
40 to 41.
Another one can.
First Maccabees chapter 12.
Another one
No,
can.
this set of people here, you just, there is just no trusting any one of Esau's descendants.
Can.
None of them has been. Oh, so 40 to 41, you say? Or 40?
40 to 41.
Okay, continue.
Canal 1 can. This is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 12, verse 40. Albeit he was afraid that Jonathan would not suffer him, and that he would fight against him. Wherefore he sought a way how to take Jonathan, that he might kill him. So he removed and came to Bethsan.
All right, so what was happening here now? So this man, you know, I think it was Tryphon, wanted to trick Jonathan. This is after the death of
Judas.
hey. Look on the table, take a look there for me. This was after the death of Judas and Jonathan, the fire off. And Jonathan is now high priest over Jerusalem after Judas. So the same enemy now who was a tributary to the Romans as well now still want to come onto Jerusalem. Because everybody want a piece of we, you know. Because we're always good for their economy. We bring cleanliness, we bring wealth. And you want a party, that's where the party is at. And you see white people used to travel down into the ghettos and the bayous. Back in the days when it wasn't so violent, you know, traveling the ghettos and the bayous to go and party all night amongst us. But we saw it as them trying to party amongst us, which way it was them learning our culture and how they can make money from it. That's why they control the rap music and all the musics of the past. They are the ones who control it. All right, that was what you read now.
40.
All right, 41.
Verse 41. Then Jonathan went out to meet him with 40,000 men chosen for the battle, and came to Bethshan.
Drop down to 44. So Jonathan went to meet this man now, Tryphon. All right, tell you, read 42.
Verse 42. No, when Tryphon saw Jonathan came with so great a force, he durst not stretch his hand against him.
Remember, his plan is to fork tongue Jonathan now, you know. Invite him at this place, and but when you look, Jonathan come with bodyguard, come with an army. So he can't do him nothing right now. Continue.
Verse 43. But received him honorably, and commended him unto all his friends, and gave him gifts, and commanded his men of war to be as obedient unto him as to himself.
Say, oh, Jonathan, and tell him soldier him now. I boss come now, you know. Listen to him like how you see me listen to him, you know. Treat him same like how you see me treat him, you know. Because what? They realize they plan like going to work right there now. But Fartung never give up. Continue.
Verse 44. And to Jonathan also he said, why hast thou brought all these people to so great trouble, seeing there is no war betwixt us?
Yeah, there was no war between them. Why you carry so much people? 45.
Verse 45. Therefore, send them now home again, and choose a few men to wait on thee, and come thou with me to Ptolemaeus, for I will give it thee, and the rest of the strongholds and forces, and all that have any charge. As for me, I will return and depart, for this is the cause of my coming.
Right, so I'm now what I'm saying, I'm going to give a portal boss, man. Make you be rule over that here. All the strongholds and things. Fork town. Hello. You can't trouble that. So, you know, this is what you call now sweet mouth. And sweet mouth in Jonathan. Because I give him some gifts, ain't it? Gave Jonathan gifts, gold and thing, and Jonathan feel good. I said, well, the truth, man. Where you going over to Port Almos? Because this is why I'm here. I'm going to give you Port Almos. You're going to be rule over Port Almos, and the towers, all the strong tower down there, you're going to control that. Continue.
Verse 46. So Jonathan believed him, did as he bade him, and sent away his host, who went into the land of Judea.
So he sent them back home. I would let them stay 1 mile from me. Okay. I let them go 1 mile from me. Whether my host is here or not, do what you say you come to do. There's no war, and I'm not warring you. I don't need to send them away. But this is why they take this thing out of the Bible. Because you are not supposed to learn that pale face speak with forked tongue. You're not supposed to learn that, because if you learn that, what happens? You ain't gonna trust them. And that is why in the UPK we say what? If you're not an Israelite, don't come inside here. But no, that's how you know. So you see these fake Israelite group, especially those telling about other nations can be a part of the Most High's last kingdom. You should also hope not take them in. The Bible is written for our records, for us to look back at our history. Show me in our history book where any heathen nation has wholeheartedly helped us from the bottom of their heart. There are some who did something out of fear because they saw us conquering other places, and they come and say, "Why, do this to those who live within our borders, because we don't want them to come on us for these, because we treat these people bad." You understand? So, when they talk about Cyrus, who granted the Persian who granted liberty. Cyrus was on a live when he did it, They want to kill, at the matter what, they killed him about 3 years after. They did kill him. Because they didn't want him to do that. And it was the Most High, remember the Most High spoke of him and said, that him raised him up for to come grant the freedom at the time that he wanted us to be freed. Right. And when Cyrus, especially the what do they call them? The Amalekites, the Babylonians, they were beginning to now call Babylonian, and there was a word. Anyways, them same Esau descendants.
The Horites.
No, man.
Amalekites.
They were Amalekites, but there was a name that was given unto them.
In a recent history.
No, man. Back then, man.
Okay.
When Babylon came on us.
Okay.
Oh gosh. I don't see if anybody online can remember the name. One comment. that name was what again? Not Macedonians. It was a name. It would have been like the would I give it like that? It was as if they were witches. Can't remember the name, but
Okay.
they were always on our case. And when to the point they start to know right back to Cyrus and say, no, you tell the king, said, no, you can't do this because blah 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 blah. You understand? When the king say X, Y, Z, until they find a way to get rid of him. All right, where are we now?
Slovakia, verse 47.
Verse 47. Okay, yeah, 47.
Canada one can, verse 47.
I'm going to 48.
Canada one can. And with himself he retained but 3,000 men, of whom he sent 2,000 into Galilee, and 1,000 went with him.
So he only brought 1,000 men with him too as his security.
Yeah.
And send back what? 39, because he came with 40,000, so he send back. He sent some close by now.
Yeah.
But he kept 1,000 with him.
Yeah.
Continue.
Canada one can, verse 48. Now, as soon as Jonathan entered into Ptolemais, they of Ptolemais shut the gates and took him, and all them that came with him they slew with sword.
Now, ain't that the factor?
God.
This was the Grecians,
God.
This was the Grecian. The Grecian, which is now, because we are confederate with Rome, because we were confederate with Rome, and they were a subject of Rome. They have to show a face like they are now with you.
Yeah.
But this was what they did to
under the Roman treaty, Slovakia.
while under the Roman treaty, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. What say you? Does this look like somebody who the most I want to be with us in the kingdom?
Yeah.
Have they shown us that yes, I am worthy?
Yeah.
I am worthy to be in the kingdom.
Slovakia. Slovakia. Tryphon was what, like a general or something?
Right.
And so under Demetrius.
Demetrius, right.
So I remember the Romans wrote a letter to Demetrius saying that if you violate the Jews, then
you're going to have to deal with
God.
Right.
Slovakia.
If you violate, then we're going to fight you by sea and by land.
Yeah. And that never go on. Slovakia.
All that for going. We disobeying the Most High God by being with them.
God.
All right, that was verse what?
Verse 48.
All right, give me. Go down to 14. We're going to read 16 to 19.
Canada one can. This is the book of First Maccabees.
So what they do now? They trick Jonathan. Judas died in battle. They trick Jonathan and kill him. Yeah. 14, 16 to 19.
Another one gone. This is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 14, verse 16. Now, when it was heard at Rome and as far as Sparta that Jonathan was dead, they were very sorry. Verse 17. But as soon as they heard that his brother Simon was made high priest in his stead and ruled the country and the cities therein. Verse 18. They wrote unto him in tablet of brass to renew the friendship and the league which they had made with Judas and Jonathan his brethren. Verse 19.
So you see, they still remember the league.
Right.
But didn't the league say that you would come and war?
Right.
If you bring arm to these men, then we're going to come and war with you.
Yeah.
Continue.
Another one can, verse 19. Which writings were read before the congregation at Jerusalem.
Right. So the writings from the I call it the league.
Yeah.
They read it out right there when we were in our temple. That's a congregation.
Yeah.
At one of our assemblies that we had, they would read that what was it called again?
The league.
The writings of the league between we and Rome was read right there in the congregation.
Yeah.
All right, verse what?
20.
All right, read 20.
Another one can, verse 20. And this is the copy of the letter that the Lacedaemonians sent, the rulers of the Lacedaemonians with the city, and to Simon the high priest, and the elders, and priests, and residue of the people of the Jews, our brethren, send greetings.
All right. We don't need to read through it because we read it from the same. The same thing that they're renewing.
Yeah.
Tricking us again.
Yeah.
All right. Go to 16 now. First Maccabees 16. So they write as soon as they heard that Jonathan did. That's what it said, right? They wrote that to renew the league with Simon. All right. First Maccabees 16 now, 2 to 3.
This is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 16, verse 2. Wherefore Simon called his two eldest sons, Judas and John, and said unto them, I and my brethren and my father's house have ever from my youth unto this day fought against the enemies of Israel. And things have prospered so well in our hand that we have delivered Israel oftentimes.
All right. So he is now telling his sons of the goodness that they experience under by experience from the Most High God of Israel,
Yeah.
to bring the nation of the Israelites to where they are at that time. Continue.
Another one can, verse 3. But now I am old, and ye, by God's mercy, are of a sufficient age. Be ye instead of me and my brother, and go and fight for our nation, and the help from heaven be with you.
The help. No, you have a league with another nation, and then you talk about help from God.
Yeah.
All right. Verse what that? 20?
Last, sir, that is
Verse 3, drop down to 14.
Another one can. Verse 14. Now Simon was visiting the cities that were in the country and taking care for the good ordering of them, at which time he came down himself to Jericho with his sons, Matthias and Judas, in the 170 year, in the 11th month, called Sabbath.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 15, where the son of Abubos received them deceitfully into a little hole called Tacos, which he had built, made them a great banquet, albeit he had hid men there.
Mm-hmm.
Another one can. Verse 16. So when Simon and his sons had drunk largely, Ptolemy and his men rose up and took their weapons and came upon Simon into the banqueting place and slew him and his 2 sons and certain of his servants.
So,
Yeah,
trick him, carry him to a what?
a banquet.
You ever watch Game of Thrones?
Yeah, we never get to pre that.
I think there is one of the episodes in Game of Thrones where they bring in the king or the queen,
Okay.
lock them in a banquet and lock out most of the bodyguard and have a couple of the bodyguard in there and just kill them off and put in and kill the queen. But it drove fear. It drove fear in the people. So that Game of Thrones, is this they read, man? Same thing, this they read. But this is the fork tongue that came unto us, and who knows, maybe the same Roman them, sneakily tell the Grecians, yeah, man, the Romans and the Grecians look alike, isn't it? And we and them were wrestling from in the womb. So they have a natural hatred for you. They don't need to wait until there is some animosity between you and them.
God.
They naturally just don't like you.
Right.
What will it take for us to see that they just don't like you?
Right.
Maybe we want to see more death.
Gotcha.
Maybe. I don't know. All right, what verse you are?
Slovakia. Verse 17 now.
Mm-hmm.
Another one can. Verse 17. In which doing he committed a great treachery and recompensed evil for good.
All right.
Yeah. Verse 18.
So he did what? Recompense
Evil for good.
Recompense evil for good.
Yeah.
Chapter what we at?
16. So.
16. All right. So that will suffice. So they kill. So Maccabeus died in battle. They trick Jonathan and kill him,
Yeah.
and trick Simon
Yeah.
and kill him, and his sons, because his 2 sons were also warriors.
Yeah.
He tricked them and killed them too. So this is the fork tongue that we as a people, I tell you, always be having to endure and to be under, even unto today. When we have, how many IMF treaties we have? How much of them are benefiting unto us? How much treaties the Gadites signed with Paleface?
Over 300 and
And how much have they kept?
none.
Right. So it's the same thing from way back here in Maccabees. All these treaties from Rome that they would come to your aid and thing, and they would fight the Romans on sea and on land. It's just bullcrap. It's good. It's not even good fertilizer for your field, right? Now this is bullcrap from a bull that ate nothing but drink nothing but water and eat feces. So feces have no nutrients in it. So that's not even good for fertilizer. This is the no relation with them. I remember when we went and you ever hear about NAFTA? NAFTA, North Atlantic Free Trade Agreement, NAFTA. Jamaica, Mexico, America. I don't remember if Canada was in it. But we went in it first, and there was ways for other Caribbean nations to come in and join. And then, just as the name says, free trade agreement. So it means then that we're still under it, you know. So it means that we can ship things to America without tariff, and they can ship to us without tariff. Well, under NAFTA, we have lost our cattle industry because remember the time of the mad cow disease, beef from America flood our market and we couldn't put any tariff on it. Produce from America, which was subsidized by American government, flooded our market and we can't put any tariff on it. So it mashed up, it damaged our farmers, local farmers. Then now, it's time for us now to send things to America. So we start to send some of our, because there are people in America who want Jamaican produce. You know what happened? Our exporters thing rotten on the wharf. The time it take to process to get it cleared. The things them rotten. Because Paleface speak with forked tongue. Yeah, man, we ensure that their thing, clear off. Because we did not read the Bible, they take it out there because some Christians can bring apocrypha to them. I tell you, that's not scripture. Yeah, really. Well, first thing, no nation have no right to tell the next nation to forget a part of their history that had happened to them. This is something that happened to you, Our next nation will tell us, forget that. Like what they're telling you about forget slavery. No nation have the right to tell us to forget slavery. I want to kick in them, you know what? We get fly go straight in them head. But you were saying, man.
I said, they do it in a little way to where you can't say a breach a treaty. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because it's clear.
It's clear.
It's just that when it's clear, it has no use. Right. Because when I send more things. You send a container and load of things to a country, that is supposed to be sold so that money can come back and reinvest in your business. But you lose everything. What will be reinvested in your business? Your business mash up right away.
Food are our most resource we have.
Yeah, farming.
Yeah. So
it's like a garden country to export.
And they know that.
Yeah, of course they know that. The Esau, anything Esau come to you with, it's best for you to just don't bother agree. it's not going to benefit you in the long run. It benefits them in the long run, not you. All right, where are we now?
Yes, sir. We have verse 18.
All right, we'll finish there. Matthew, go down to Matthew chapter 2, 16 to 18. So we have the Grecians. There we went farm league with the Romans, which I don't see anywhere in the Bible where they have ever come to our aid.
Right.
I don't see that anywhere in Maccabees or any other scripture where that league work out in our favor. As a matter of fact, that league brought in Jerusalem that first set of Romans. Remember who was ruling when Christ born? Herod.
Yeah.
And you have about 4 Herods that ruled at the time of you have about 4 Herods who ruled Jerusalem. Right? Now, let's see if I can find it. Herod the Great. Here you have some pictures. I have some pictures in on the net with the Herods. Herod Antipas. Let's see if we can make it bigger again. Right. There's Herod Antipas, 20 BC to 39 AD. Herod the Great, Herod Archelaus, 23 BC to 18 AD. So from here, they talk about AD, you know, so that him span Christ time.
Yeah.
Philip the Tetrarch, 34 AD. Herod Agrippa, 11 BC to 44 AD. Herod the Second, Herod Agrippa. Now these Herod Agrippa the Second, these were men. These, I don't think all of them, but most of these Herods rule over Jerusalem, right? And they look nothing like the true Jews. But here now we're going to read in Matthew.
Verse 2 and 18 to 19.
Yeah.
This is the book of Matthew. Matthew chapter 2, verse 18. In Ramah was there a voice heard, lamentation and weeping and great mourning. Rachel weeping for her children.
Oh man, I think you start at 16.
Or 16.
I think so.
Got another one gone. Verse 16. Then Herod, when he saw, got another one gone. When he saw that he was mocked of the wise men, was exceeding wrath, and sent forth and slew all the children that were in Bethlehem. And
so this now was the nation that we went and formed confederate with, who did not came to our help, who find their way in our territory and start doing what? Read that again. What did they do?
God. And sent forth and slew all the children that were in Bethlehem.
And Herod slew all the children in Bethlehem. That was Christ's time. Read on.
And in all the coast thereof, from 2 years old and under, according to the time which he had diligently inquired of the wise men.
So they went on a killing spree of our infants because they want to kill out Christ.
Right.
Because the wise men told Herod of this Christ that came about to deliver these people. And there is nothing in the Confederate that we joined in from Maccabees' time that says they were supposed to come within our border and come be our ruler. When the Grecians killed our Jonathan and our Simon, they did not come to our aid. So this is why we tell you, fork tongue, they have never ever helped us. Continue.
God, verse 17. Then was fulfilled that which was spoken by Jeremy the prophet, saying, Rama here is talking about Roma.
I think there's a place in the Israel border named Rama.
Okay, gotcha. Verse 18. In Rama was there a voice heard,
The Israelite border.
and weeping, and great mourning, Rachel weeping for her children.
Right. Rachel weeping. Finish?
Yeah.
Continue.
And would not be comforted because they are not.
Right. Rachel weeping for her children. But they will not be comforted because the children are not. They kill them out. All young boys at that age. And if you remember, the angel appeared to Joseph and tell him, get up. And your wife and the child and the child mother, and go into Egypt, because Herod seek the child's life. Right? So this is now, this is how the Romans repaying us for coming and being confederate with them. But it's still not finished. You have the Babylon to Timbuktu.
I'll read it.
Yeah.
This is the book of Babylon, from Babylon to Timbuktu, page 84, second paragraph. In the year 65 BC.
65 BC.
The Roman armies under General Pompey captured Jerusalem.
So this is after the Confederate, the Confederacy that Jonathan, Judas first signed.
Right.
They renew it under Jonathan, they renew it under Simon.
Right.
And now in 65 BC,
right.
they march on Jerusalem.
Right.
Continue.
In 70 AD, General Vespasian.
So from 65 BC unto 70 AD was when they were within our borders.
Right.
They took over Jerusalem and they were ruling over the Israelites.
Right.
And then in what year?
In 70 AD, General Vespasian.
Then in the year 70 AD, a Roman general that named Vespasian did what?
And his son Titus.
Vespasian and his son Titus
put an end to the Jewish state.
They ended our Jewish state. This is what happened when you go and join with another nation of another God, different from the one you serve. The Most High just leave you alone, and they become more mightier than you and put an end to you, because he's the one who has to fight for you. So if he's not fighting for you, then it's your enemy that is over you. It finished?
Last. Titus put an end to the Jewish state with great slaughter. During the period of the military governors of Palestine, many outrages and atrocities were committed against the residue of the people.
So they great slaughter. Them slaughter heavily. Right? Many atrocities were committed against the people, which means they do as they want with you. in America, what we call it again, when them just
Lynch.
lynch.
Right.
Worse than lynching was taking place.
Right.
Continue.
Another one can. During the period from Pompey to Julius, it has been estimated that over 1 million Jews fled into Africa.
So much so that we have to flee into a faraway land. Right? We had to flee into Africa. Why they went into Africa? Because that was outside of the Roman borders. So we had to flee outside of where they had political rule to escape them. That's how we end up on the west coast of Africa. And from there now, we enjoy over 1,000 years of being away from them. But there came the Arabs. But the Arab didn't really go and end your governance there. They kidnap you and take you to slavery. That's how the Arab ran their slave trade, by kidnapping. And then after now the Romans came back, and the Romans painted themselves in the book, in our book of the law. And then they took us into slavery, and here we are in the West Indies, and the rest of that is history, and then more to come, because it ain't over as yet.
Right.
We are still here, and we are still under the bondage of these Romans. And yet still you're going to come and tell me that, oh, you need to forgive. When God starts to forgive them, I will forgive them.
Right.
The most I say him visit the sins of the fathers and the third and fourth generation,
Right.
Which tell you that what? Him don't forget things, so he don't forget things,
Right.
You know, the forgiveness come in is you, the Israelite, who Christ, who don't get it fully, but you want to serve Christ in the truth, come in the truth. That's how you get the forgiveness. Right? So he's going to, the pressure start. Omicron, or we say it again in Mortal Kombat. This is Mortal Kombat, Level what now? 5, the 5th wave. Level 5, round 1, fight. Let us see what is going to happen with this new villain that is in the game now. Right? Because the story isn't over as yet. These Romans are still on our tail. You see a man dressed like me, first thing coming out, even our people, he look like a criminal. This was how we used to dress before they come and take hold of us. And they can only take hold of us when we stray from our God. And they are always getting us to stray from our God, because they speak with forked tongue. It's so easy them or they deceive him, Simon. Give him a banquet. Or they deceive Jonathan, tell him, say, because Jonathan come prepared,
Right.
I wonder where my deal is. Then Jonathan go there now. And this is what they are good at. Soft and tender speaking. Right? So them him come and look, and Jonathan see, man, oh, this man wouldn't hurt a fly. He gave me gifts. He is good. This is Santa Claus. I'm going to build a chimney. I'm going to want to see a white Santa Claus come down on my chimney. I ain't going to kiss my boot. He's going to blood up my boot. Right? So these men has been on us with no good intention from the womb of Esau and Jacob. It's up to you now to come, you Israelites, to come into the truth, because they are going to turn up the heat. Yeah, remember the Pope declared the Bible outdated now, Why you think him say it outdated? Because they used to use it. It was our laws, but because we couldn't read it, they could interpret it whichever way they want and use it to conquer us. But now you can read it for yourself. It's now outdated. Right? All right. So questions?
Yeah, sir, no question.
All right. So with no question, so no, come again, man. Come. So no question. Pass the class. The prison officer Kayadwan.
Clap it up.
Okay.
All right, these are the ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General Anna. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or a sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or a sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or a sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, we can find this in Numbers chapter 18 and verse 21, and Malachi chapter 3 verse 8 to 10. Means tenth in the Hebrew and is pronounced ma'ashara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you'd like to give. Upcoming holy convocation, we're at the closing of the feast of dedication, or Hachaanakah, you know what I mean, which we read about in First Maccabees, you know what I mean, with Judas Maccabeus, Jonathan, you know what I mean, and his brothers, you understand, Slack. You can find it, Slack, it is the 25th day of the 9th month by the space of 8 days. It starts Sunday the 28th of November for 8 days, which today is closing. You can find it in First Maccabees chapter 4 and chapter 4 verse 52 to 61 in the Apocrypha. Reminding Akiam and Aquatiam to check on social media such as isupk.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for ISUPK event and materials. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, then he's to start wearing all black, which includes black boots, shirts, pants, headband, or scarf. And with that, we say Imadium, which means to stand. Sar Lapanya Aquadam, which means turn, face the east. We're going to say the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew and then in English. Abanawa. Shabashamaya. Kwadash. Aya. Shamka. Yahawa. Malakwatka. Taba'a. Watazaka. Aya. Aisha. Barataza. Kawa. Aya. Bashamaya. Nathan Lanawa. Lakam. Kal. Yawam. Wasalak Lanawa. Kawabwat Nawa. Kasalak Nawa. Kawabwat Yanawa. Wala'a. Kabaya Nawa. Wanasayawa. Aba. Awashai Nawa. Maya. Right. Kaya. Laka. Amalakwat. Wa'ala. Wa'ataparat. La'aywalamya. Ama.
In English, our Father which art in heaven,
Our Father which art in heaven,
hallowed be thy name.
hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven.
Thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven.
Give us this day our daily bread.
Give us this day our daily bread.
And forgive us our debts.
And forgive us our debts.
As we forgive our debtors.
As we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not into temptation.
And lead us not into temptation.
But deliver us from evil.
But deliver us from evil.
For thine is the kingdom.
For thine is the kingdom.
And the power.
And the power.
And the glory.
And the glory.
Forever.
Forever.
So be it.
So be it.
Prayer for the curses. Blessed are you, Yahweh.
Blessed are you, Yahweh.
King of heaven and earth.
King of heaven and earth.
And all things living.
And all things living.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Listen to us now.
Listen to us now.
Right now.
Right now.
Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction.
Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction.
To the heathen.
To the heathen.
That speak against us.
That speak against us.
Thy prophets.
Thy prophets.
The teachers.
The teachers.
The princes.
The princes.
The priests.
The priests.
The Israelite brothers and the school.
The Israelite brothers and the school.
Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction.
Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction.
To the heathen.
To the heathen.
And shake loose the treasure of the rich of Israel.
And shake loose the treasure of the rich of Israel.
That refuse to give to the school.
That refuse to give to the school.
Force their riches to enter into thy sanctuary.
Force their riches to enter into thy sanctuary.
Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction.
Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction.
To the Edomites.
To the Edomites.
And the nations.
And the nation.
And their drug dealers.
And their drug dealers.
The court system.
Court system.
The prison system.
Prison system.
Planned Parenthood.
Planned Parenthood.
All the government of our enemies.
All the governments of our enemies.
Amalek synagogues and armies.
Amalek synagogues and armies.
Roman Catholic Church.
Roman Catholic Church.
Pope.
Pope.
Islam.
Islam.
Christianity.
Christianity.
Egyptology.
Egyptology.
Militia.
Militia.
Ku Klux Klan.
Ku Klux Klan.
Aryan Nation.
Aryan Nation.
Skinheads.
Skinheads.
Pasikomitazi.
Pasikomitazi.
The gay movement.
The gay
The
movement.
lesbian
The
movement.
lesbian movement.
Spies.
Spies.
Workers of witchcraft.
Workers of witchcraft.
NASA space program.
NASA space program.
Army.
Army.
Navy.
Navy.
Air Force.
Air Force.
Marine.
Marines.
Wall Street.
Wall Street.
Open up the internet and the airways.
Open up the internet and the airways.
The cable access channel.
The cable access channel.
And the radio channel.
And the radio channel.
Convict the spirit of any of thy people.
Convict the spirit of any of thy people.
That seek to stop us.
That seek to stop us.
And bring swift destruction.
And bring swift destruction.
To all the heathen.
To all the heathens.
That stand in the way or try to stop us from broadcasting your words.
That stand in the way or try to stop us from broadcasting your words.
Throughout the planet Earth.
Throughout the planet Earth.
Let loose all the plagues.
Let loose all the plagues.
Cause them to go to and fro.
Cause them to go to and fro.
Through the earth.
Through the earth.
And consume them.
And consume them.
Let the plague shake.
Let the plague shake.
The house of the thief and the murderer.
The house of the thief and the murderer.
Let Yahweh, Michael, and Gabriel.
Let Yahweh, Michael, and Gabriel.
Come down with the flying saucer.
Come down with the flying saucer.
And punish all the heathen.
And punish all the heathens.
That come up against us.
That come up against us.
As we speak thy word.
As we speak thy word.
Cause it to be known by all.
Cause it to be known by all.
That is the angels that have done it.
That it is the angels that has done it.
Cause it to be spread through the media.
Cause it to be spread throughout the media.
Throughout the whole world.
Throughout the whole world.
Cause them to shake at thy coming.
Cause them to shake at thy coming.
In the name of Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh.
Thank you. Always so be.
Thank you, always so be. To us. All right, this is the prayer for the power in Hebrew. Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai.
Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai.
Baba Kosha.
Baba Kosha.
Nathan Lanawa.
Nathan Lanawa.
Aka.
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 Larapa'a.
Larapa'a.
Kalmakala.
Kalmakala.
Wakal Madawa.
Wakal Madawa.
Aka.
Aka.
Lata'a.
Lata'a.
Amatazaria.
Matazaria.
Aka.
Aka.
La Aquaya.
La Aquaya.
Amathia.
Amathia.
Aka.
Aka.
Al-Rakawa.
Arakawa.
Atamala.
Atamala.
Nagarasha.
Garasha.
Ba'asham Yahushai.
Ba'asham Yahushai.
Tawadama.
Tawadama. In English. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh,
Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh,
please give us the power.
please give us the power.
The power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease.
The power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to raise the dead.
The power to raise the dead.
The power against unclean spirits.
The power against unclean spirits.
To cast them out in the name of Yahweh.
To cast them out in the name of Yahweh.
Thank you, so be it.
Thank you, so be it. All right, this is the prayer for the blessing to bless Israel in the Hebrew. Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai.
Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai.
Barak Lanawa.
Barak Lanawa.
Wayasharala.
Wayasharala.
Wa'a.
Waha.
Wayataparia.
Wayataparia.
Barak.
Barak.
Rapa'a.
Rapa'a.
Magan.
Magan.
Hagan.
Hagan.
Commanding General Yahana.
Commanding General Yahana.
The generals.
The general.
The captains.
The captain.
the officers,
the officers,
the troopers,
the troopers,
the young men and the sisters.
the young men and the sisters.
Bashami Awashai,
Bashami Awashai,
toward our man.
toward Amen. In English, what you have just said is, Lord, in the name of Yahweh, shall I bless us and Israel and the school. Bless, heal, shield, protect our loved ones. In the name of Yahweh, shall I thank you, so be.
We're going to give one courtesy salute to the teacher, men of Israel. I Madium Shabbat. I Madium Barak. Yahweh Bashami Awashai Brakata.
Yahweh Bashami Awashai Brakata.
Yademata. We're going to give one courtesy salute to the sisters, men of Israel. I Madium Shabbat. I Madium Barak. Yahweh Shama Alatam Bashami Awashai. Yademata. Class dismissed.
Okay, remember to sign the attendance sheet before you sign off. Remember to pay your tithes. Go to ISUPK.com, pay your tithes. As we ask that you support. You pay your tithes, it's a law.
Yeah.
Right? And what ISUPK they do with that tithe money is to take care of other Israelites.
Yeah.
Now imagine if all Israelites was paying the tithes. We would be governing over people.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have the fork tongue to deal with. All right? And with that, we say, Shalom until we meet again. In this time of the pandemic, where COVID-19 has crippled the world economies, where our government has ordered nationwide shutdown, where hospitals are overwhelmed.
Shortly after, the unthinkable happened.
I was literally stunned and frozen.
And their religious leaders are proven to be frauds. Where do you go to get all your questions answered and to hear what God has to say about this matter? You can only find the answers in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under Commanding General Hachaanakah. We give you scriptural breakdowns of world events and the up and coming world war. We will show you in the Bible where the children of Israel, who are the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans today, would suffer slavery in Jamaica, Caribbean, North, Central, and South America, and other parts of the world. We will show you in the Bible where God said he would send plagues upon the earth before he frees people from this captivity.
The World Health Organization has declared coronavirus a global pandemic.
We will give you the true teaching of the Bible, precept upon precept. To learn more, subscribe today and call the number in the description for ISUPK Jamaica. Shalom.